What's going on, guys? We're going to do a little update on that $50,000 Topstep evaluation that I started last week. So today is day 6. By the time that this trading day is over, it'll be day 7. And it looks like we're going to be able to pass this evaluation. I want to kind of run over some of the numbers. So we did $3,000 profit in a total of 7 trading days. Now, these are some of my numbers from today. I took 6 total trades. Gross P&L was $450. After fees and commissions was $416.56. Again, because of the market being such low volume, right? It's been a little bit more choppy. The ranges have been contracting. You're not getting, those big 20, 25 point candles on the NASDAQ. What's tending to happen is moves are, not holding for as long. The only benefit to that is what it did give me was an opportunity to play mini contracts. So between 1, 2, sometimes at one point in time, 3 mini contracts because the ranges are small. So again, a note that I want to kind of put into perspective is that if this was normal market conditions where, you're getting 20, 25 point moves per 5-minute candle, there would have been no way that I would have been able to trade the way that I did. So what I did was adjust my style, keep my entries. I'm not changing strategies. I'm still looking for the same type of setups that I normally trade when I use micros. I'm just looking to trade a bigger size and looking to scalp. So when I get into a position, if it starts to go in my favor very quickly, up $100, $200, sometimes $300, I'll take that trade off the table. I'm not really looking for the full one-to-one. And if the trade was to go against me, get into the trade, maybe I go down $50, $80, $100, I'll just cut the trade automatically. So I have a max pain stop loss, but I'm also managing that trade because I don't want to get blown out, right? Being that I was playing bigger size. So if we just look at the stats from today, 6 total trades, 4 of them were winning, 2 of the trades were losing. I hit at a 66% win rate. So again, guys, you're never going to win 100% of the trades, right? I lose, and I lose a lot of trades. It doesn't mean that you cannot be profitable. The average winning trade today was $182. The average losing trade was $140. So you can see I'm still targeting that one-to-one a little bit better than the one-to-one on my return to investment. If we look at the average winning trade time was only around 2.5 minutes. The average losing time was 32 seconds. And this is because if I get into the trade and it's not working for me, especially when I'm playing mini contracts, if this was micros, it would be different because I need to allow the trade to develop. But when I'm playing mini contracts and I get into a setup that aligns with my strategy, if the trade does not work in my favor immediately, I get out of the trade. The longest winning trade time that I had here was 8 minutes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the stats for the month. Again, I only traded 7 days, so but I need to, at least put it in there for the month, so we can get those numbers. So if we go to the total trades period, right? I want to kind of show you guys something down here. This P&L, $3,000.24. If you guys can see this, $3,024. So this account is going to be passed as soon as the day closes. The longest trade time that I had was 1 hour and 14 minutes. The average trade time is around 4 minutes. So I just want to give you guys that and break that down into perspective. I'm not sitting here, with the exception of a handful of trades, I'm not sitting in these trades much longer than about 1 5-minute candle. So I'm getting in and either I'm taking my profits very quickly or I'm cutting those losses. The average losing trade time was around 6 minutes. So again, it's still in that 1.5 5-minute candles that we're looking at. The largest winning trade that I had was $780. The largest losing trade that I had was $380. So if you just kind of look at this context here, my winners are bigger than my losers. Even on the average, when you average all the numbers together, the average winning trade was around $108. So let's call it 110. The average winning trade was $110 and the average losing trade was 93. So you don't really see a big discrepancy here. You don't see like, my largest winning trade was $2,000 and then my average winning trade was $50 and my average losing trade something like $500. I'm keeping these numbers on the win side. So when I'm winning, whether it's by a couple bucks or whether it's by, a few $100s, I'm winning more than I'm losing. And that comes down to risk management. If the trade, even if it looks perfect, and it's part of your system, it's part of your strategy, and you've played this particular setup 1,000 times before. If you get into the trade and it does not work, get out of the trade, right? What's the worst that can happen to you? You find another trade later, get out of the trade if the trade does not work. Another thing that I want to kind of note here is through the whole period, this whole evaluation, the whole time it took me from beginning the evaluation combine with Topstep to getting now passed and funded, was 60% of my trades were winners. So I only hit at a 60% win rate, which means that I lost at 40%. So out of 10 trades, I was winning 6 and I was losing 4. You know, whether I was losing 2 or 3 trades in a row and then going on a string of wins, or whether I won a trade, lost a trade, won a trade, lost a trade, you're going to see that as long as you manage your risk and you keep those losses smaller than your wins. So when you are starting to win trades, you have to, you know, bite down and knuckle up and hold those trades a little bit longer so you can maximize that profit, right? And when you're losing, if the trade's not working, you don't want to sit in a losing trade and hope that it comes back, or try to look for new support, or try to look for a new supply zone. If the trade's not working and you know that, you know, 6 times, I'll use my statistics for an example, that 6 times out of every 10 trades, it's going to work and it should work, then just get out of the trade if it's not working, right? Very, very simple. So again, I wanted to show that it is possible to pass these by managing risk. You don't have to play super small size. You don't have to look for all day moves. The last couple of days, I was scalping 2 mini contracts on average, and I was taking 5 points here, 6 points here, 10 points here if I was lucky. Just getting in, using my setup, using my strategy, finding that opportunity, allowing that opportunity to come to me, whether it was a 20 SMA play, whether it was a short off of supply zone on a 5-minute or 2-minute time frame. Example, you know, the 200-day moving average, we touch it, puts in a wick over it, use the top as a stop out, short it back down into support. You know, those type of plays, as long as I've played the setups before and I'm comfortable in them, I'll take the trades, right? So again, some days I took, you know, upwards of 20 trades, 20 scalps. Some days like today, I took 6 trades. So again, every day is different. You have to adjust and you have to manage risk accordingly. So again, if you identify a setup and you can see here off of my stats, and you put yourself in my situation, if you know that you're around a 55 to 60% winning trader, that means that when you get into a trade and it does not work, look at the stats. If my average trade time is 3 minutes and I'm sitting in a trade for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and it's not working for me, do you think that that trade is going to work? Yes or no? Right? Because if my average winning trade is around 3 minutes and my average losing trade is around 6 minutes, well, then if I'm in a trade for 10 minutes, it either A, better be working for me, or 2, I need to understand this trade is not working for me and I need to get out of the trade. I need to pull out of the trade because my stats are telling me 60% of the time I'm a winner within 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. So if I'm winning a trade 60% of the time within 3 to 5 minutes, if I'm in a trade longer than that and it's not working for me, red flags need to be going off. Fireworks need to be exploding, that I need to think about getting out of the trade because my numbers are telling me that this trade setup should have gone in my favor already. So that comes with a little bit of experience as well. That comes with taking, you know, thousands of trades and just understanding your setups and your strategy and your risk management. And all in all, when you're doing these evaluation accounts, when you're doing these prop firm challenges, it's all about managing your risk. So if we looked at my stats and you guys have been following these videos, the first couple of days I started off with an $80 win or a $100 win, and then I had a big day, and then I went back down to like a $200 day. As soon as you start to build that padding and you build that cushion, then you can get a little bit more aggressive and you can start playing bigger size because you have a profit P&L to play with, right? Where it's not going to hurt so much if you do manage to have a losing day or a losing trade or whatever the case may be, because you're building up that padding. So the more padding that I was building, inching closer to that $3,000 profit target, I was increasing the number of trades that I took, meaning setups. Doesn't mean that I was just looking to buy long here, short here, buy here. I was taking more of my setups that I have in my tool belt, right? So I probably play, 4 or 5 different types of setups on a day in and day out basis, and I was just playing them more, so more aggressively, and I was also playing bigger size, the more padding that I had in the P&L. Again, I do recommend that newer traders, people who have not passed combines or evaluation challenges yet, that you do start small, playing small size, and only size up when you have a cushion and when you're comfortable managing your setups, meaning that, let's say out of the 40% of the time that I would lose a trade, instead of me getting into that trade and then just, looking at the screen and telling myself, oh, come on, please come back, come back in my favor, to just cut the trade. But a lot of times traders have difficulty losing. So when you have difficulty losing, it causes you to go on tilt and take setups that you shouldn't, or hold trades a lot longer. But again, even if you can hit at 55%, 60% of the time, and you can manage to just make a little bit more money than what you lose, and you can manage to start understanding your stats and what's working best for you, you can then start to maximize on this. You don't need to sit here and take 30 days, 60 days, 90 days to pass one of these challenges, although you're going to get experience doing that. But you can get yourself to a level of comfort where you can size up a little bit when you're comfortable and start taking more setups that are in your tool belt, as long as you're managing your risk. So again, all in all, in the 7 days, one thing that I can pass to you guys is manage risk first. That also comes with managing your emotions. I put those two at the top. And then strategies and taking trades is second, right? It'll always be second. It's not about the strategy. It's not about what you're looking for on the screens. There's 1,000 different ways to take trades. There's only one proper way to manage your emotions and your risk. Don't be stupid. Don't oversize if you're not ready for it. Be disciplined and manage your P&L, manage your losses against your running P&L. So if you start off a evaluation challenge in the red, you're not trying to make it all back in one day. You're trying to inch back to scratch. And then when you get to scratch, now you can put on more size. If you start to make money, 1 day, Tuesday, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, you can slowly start to increase your size and the amount of trades that you take, but manage those losses that are going to incur against the running P&L, if that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, get with me and let's work on it together, because I could sit here for 3 hours and try to explain that process on how you stay disciplined and manage that. But all in all, if you shut it down when you're green, and you shut it down when you know you should be shutting it down because you're red, you will pass these challenges, whether it takes 7 days or it takes 70 days. It doesn't matter. Take as much time as you need. Take as many trades as you need. You will get there, but just do not rush the process. On any one of these days, out of the past 7 days, I did not rush the process. If the trade was there, I took it. If the trade didn't work, I cut it. If the trade did work, I stopped trading on the day. I got to a level of, $100 here, $80, $300, $400, and then I stopped trading, right? Because I know that I just want more days to pass, because the more days that pass and I continue to do the same thing, I'm going to continue to grow that P&L. And you're going to have those days where the market gives you amazing setups and you make, $500, you make $1,000, you make $2,000. Those days are going to come, but they're going to come naturally, not because we're trading like a madman trying to get there. They just happen naturally because of the price action. I hope this helps. This is the end of my challenge. There will be no more updates on this. I just wanted to go through the process and my thought process on how we can start a new account challenge and how we can pass by managing risk, staying disciplined, and trying to be on the right path. Hope all of you guys have success in your prop firm challenges. If you guys would like to trade with me, my link is down in the description box below at evolutiontraders.com. And I'll catch all of you guys on the inside. To everyone else, have a happy new year. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see all of you guys next time.